It's clean, it's comfortable, it's chaotic, it's cluttered, it's controversy, chaotic.
Hair Boy. Episode 28? 7? I can't remember. And I wrote it down too, and I wrote it wrong. 28.
Great. 28. Oh, let me take this gum out. This is unprofessional.
Don't be that unprofessional person chewing gum.
I'm sorry.
Everywhere. Well, whatever. We're here.
We are here.
Let me tell you, ever since Glorilla said it was 95 degrees, it has been 95 plus degrees. It's like 95 plus 5 in the daytime and then 95 degrees at night. It is so fucking hot.
And hot and humid. Like, why is it this hot at nighttime? That doesn't even make sense.
Look at my hair. It's frizzy. And I straightened it this morning. And I was like, why? Why did you straighten it? Because as soon as you go outside, the weather don't care. Especially like here in Maryland. Like, I forgot how humid it is.
Mm-hmm.
You would think like Georgia is more humid. I don't know if I've gotten used to it, but this,
I think Georgia is just hot.
Disgusting. It's just moist outside.
Yeah. Very
sticky. Like, it's like every time you walk outside, you feel clammy. It's just like, don't touch me. Just back the fuck up.
That's how I felt when we were in New Orleans. I'm like, as soon as I walked outside, I just felt like you can touch my arm.
Yeah, you feel sticky.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate that feeling. That's the feeling. It's just like, nah, babe, I gotta shower. I gotta shower in the morning and I gotta shower at night. Cause I can't wake up and be hot. I can't run errands. And now I've been sweating. I have to shower like so much when it's humid weather. Or I just have to stay in the house.
Or that. But
don't ask me, please.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, it's damn near impossible these days to stay in the house. I feel like not even every day, every week, I'm like double booked for, I gotta be here, gotta be there, gotta be here, gotta be there. Not have to be, but like certain things it's like I want to be at. Or let's say if I have to work and then on Wednesdays Celine has soccer, it's like, girl.
Yeah, you talk about me being on tour. You be on tour all the time.
I'll be on a local tour.
You be on the local tour.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I be all over the place.
Yeah.
But you be on the same kind of time.
Yeah. Locally, though. Your tours require you to drive 10, 15 hours or take a 2-hour flight.
Yes.
My tours be like, all right, I got to drive an hour to DC or I got to drive, local.
Yeah. Listen. I can't help it that y'all live far.
That we live far, you live far. Everything you do in this lifetime is like on the East Coast. I mean, Georgia is on the East Coast, but it's the South, okay?
Yes.
Everything you do is on the East Coast, whether it's in New York, Philly, Delaware, or Maryland, or DC, or Virginia.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's you the problem.
I don't know. Mm-hmm. I don't think so.
That's my truth, and I stick beside it.
I can't be the problem during cancer season. I just can't.
All right, fine.
Talk to me in August. Maybe I'll be the problem. But this month, no. So to all the cancers out there, we are not the problem.
I'll let you have it.
Everybody else just doesn't understand us. And that's what it is. It's them, not us. Don't worry about it. So you sent me this TikTok series.
Mm-hmm.
I call it True Life, I'm a Stalker. Because True Life used to be my shit.
Yeah.
The craziness that people used to go through, I'm like, why are you admitting this and have a camera crew following you doing this stupid shit? So there's a new TikTok series kind of similar to Who the Fuck Did I Marry from earlier this year, which is also hard to believe that was this year.
I know. It feels like so long ago.
That picture felt like 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. And this lady is going on a whole synopsis of how she was a stalker. And let me tell you, I didn't get through the whole thing because I was just super busy.
You know I did.
And my headphones kept dying. But yes, tell me about the stalker lady.
Okay.
And was she really a stalker?
Absolutely. She was really a stalker. So, spoiler alert, I'm just going to tell it all. Basically, she was dating this guy so her and this guy, they went to high school together, small town type of thing, whatever. And this is when 2015. So this is like well after she was in high school. But anyway, she starts dating him. He had this ex-girlfriend who was white, or who is white, and she was like the love of his life. Like they used to post together all the time on social media, like, you know, all the things. Now, this woman, she's a brown skin, dark skinned woman. The guy, he's a black man. But you could tell he's a type of black man that has a preference of white women. And so it's given, this is my first black girl, and I'm only really with her because it's a rebound type of situation, even though he said that wasn't the case. So yeah, they're together, happy, that are all the things, whatever. But she starts to realize, like, okay, he's not posting me. He's not, you know, showing me the same type of affection and attention as he has his ex, who she knows because they went to high school together. So on Facebook, she can see that, like, she still has like the old pictures up of them. They're still friends because every Sunday he would disappear and meet up with the lady to give her money for the cell phone bill. Why y'all still even on the same cell phone? Like, whatever. Anyway, so
Giving fishy.
yeah, the whole thing was given like, oh, you still fuck with that bitch. You know what I mean? So she messages the ex-girlfriend and was like, you know, can you take those pictures down? You know, y'all haven't been together for quite some time. Him and I are together. Can you take those pictures down? Me as a woman, I ain't doing that. I ain't coming to no woman as no woman. I'm not coming to you as a woman, babe.
I'm not coming as you as a woman, a dog, a cat, nothing.
I'm not even coming to you as a nigga. Okay.
I'm not addressing you ever.
I'm not addressing you. I'm not. Like, if my man, his ex, still got pictures of them on social media, you could have it. I don't care. You think that, like, I don't understand that. Like, the logic behind that is so dumb to me. But once we get deep in the story, you'll understand her logic. But you have to know that your partner was with people, probably multiple, before you. So why do you care? Now, as far as me, you know, my dating track record is non existent on social media. You can't find it. Okay. It just
never exists.
It ain't there.
If you find it, you deserve it.
Absolutely. If you are the detective of the year because they don't exist. You know what I mean? No shade. I'm just saying that, like, I'm the type of person that, like, I don't know. I will not to get off on a tangent, but I will say that in my college years, the guys that I've dated in the past, I've never been like posting them on social media, like never posting, never tagging. Nobody even knows who I've ever dated in this lifetime, to be honest with you. Like, so when I started dating Matt and he posted and tagged me first, it definitely took me like, why are you posting me? Why are you tagging me? Like, I don't post my man. Like, I was just that type of person in my like college years. So yeah, if you can find them pictures, babe, please. Anyway, so fast forward to this lady. She comes to her as a woman, whatever. The girl pretty much was just like, basically, get the F off my line, and go off yourself. And that came about because the boyfriend, she confided in her man and told her man how she had unaliving thoughts. And he went and was pillow talking with the ex and told the ex.
So your man is your op?
Yes, because he really did not like her. Like, he did not like her. I don't care. He did not like her like that. She was just right here, right now, and to ease the pain of the breakup with the other chick. So after the girl says the whole, you know, go off yourself, she gets on, the main character who's telling the story, she gets on Facebook and blasts the girl all her business, talks about how she's a meth addict, because she was. And the boyfriend, everything the boyfriend told her about her, the white girl, she went on Facebook and everybody was begging her, please stop, please stop, please stop, all this stuff. And she didn't stop. Now, that is what started the spiral effect of her losing her absolute shit. Like, she literally lost her mind because she felt betrayed and sad and all the things. Like, why would you go and tell this lady that I wanted to off myself and tell her all these details about me? But at the same time, it's like, girl, he told you all these details about her.
Stuff about her. So what make you think that he's not going to do the same thing to you?
Exactly.
Hello? Exactly. Are we not reading the room?
Yeah. So to fast forward, it became her. Eventually, her and the dude, they break up, but they stay in communication. Like, you know, they were cool, whatever, but they weren't in a relationship anymore. Because she just was mad. Like, why her and why not me? Why are you showing her off and flaunting her? Why not me? Like, that sort of thing. And eventually he gets back with the girl. And of course. Yeah, like, of course. That's the love of his life, So he gets back with the girl, and it spins her into this like spiral. Her life's mission was to make them pay. She would call them 100 times a day, pop up at their job, all types of crazy stuff.
Oh, this bitch is unwell.
Yeah, no, literally, like it was literally her life's mission to ruin them. Like, so bad to the point where she started seeing voodoo priests putting hexes on them.
Whoa. See, I tried to be on her side.
I am missing a part though, but
I tried.
Before you give your divulgence here, let me just finish.
Okay.
So hexes on them, voodoo priests. It was so bad that she had several write-ups and performance reviews at work to the point where she ends up getting fired. And she had a good job, like, and she has a daughter, like she has a child doing this stuff. Like, it was crazy. But then eventually, she had a warrant out for her arrest. She gets arrested. Then they do a psych evaluation on her, and apparently she had like bipolar and all these mental health issues. But the snapping point was the fact that this man didn't want her, and literally a real life episode of Snapped. I mean, she didn't get violent with them yet, but right. So eventually, she sought out help and all these different things. But even as I was listening to the story, I really want you to go back and listen. But
I am. I'm going to listen to the whole thing.
Even as I'm listening to the story, I'm like, it's giving you would do it again. Like, because at some point,
acrimony.
Yes, at some points you could tell she did feel remorseful and sad, but that anger and resentment of that man not wanting her was still there. Okay. Like, yeah, and yes, she had mental health issues, and her overall platform is now to talk about being worthy or feeling like enough and battling with mental health issues. But I do feel like, I don't know, I don't want to be insensitive to people who struggle with mental health issues, but I do think sometimes as women, you gotta let that man go. Like,
listen, I am a huge believer in when somebody tells you that they don't want you, believe it right there in the first time. Like, you don't have to tell me multiple times. I heard you the first time. If that man tell you or show you that he really don't like you, really don't fuck with you like that, baby, it's time to bank head bounce up out of there.
Yeah.
There's plenty
fish in the sea, and they don't swim like me.
However you want them. You want them good, bad, and different. There's plenty of people. You can't be calling nobody 100 times. That's insane.
Literally 100 times. Insane. And the crazy thing is, she said that he was still picking up the phone about 75% of the time. But I feel like it's because he knew that she was mentally unwell, and he didn't want to drive her into that situation of unaliving herself. The thing that like really kicked it up a notch and what made him stop was the fact that him and the girl, they got pregnant. And at this point, the main character was doing, her voodoo on them and was trying to get the baby to be unalived. And yeah.
Oh, she's a mad woman.
Yeah.
She is a mad woman.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tune in. So,
yeah. And
I'm going to tune in. There can be more.
Yeah, there is more. I'm leaving out a couple things, but like, yeah, that's the gist of it. And I will say, like, I do know someone who struggles with like bipolar and like other mental health issues. And I mean, we all know people, but I'm saying like, I've seen it intimately as far as like in a relationship with somebody. And a lot of times when you dig into their background, it stems from like their childhood and their own self-esteem, not necessarily being bipolar, but those issues come up in an astronomical way. Like, when I was listening, I was just so appalled because I'm like, yo, yeah, she's medicated, but I really feel like she took accountability, but I really feel like she would be capable of doing it again. And that brings me even to, I don't know if you saw Chris Brown posted that Stalker lady.
Colin sent me a video of it, but it was like 2 a.m. and I was so tired. Like when I tell you yesterday, I stopped working at, you're not going to believe it. I stopped working at like 1:45 in the morning.
What? You could have been up watching Love Island.
I could have been doing anything.
Like,
I was working until 1:45 in the morning. Like I was literally fucking delirious. I was so tired. I was just like, oh my God, I'm fucking exhausted. So he sent it to me. I didn't even watch it. Like I was knocked the fuck out. As soon as I hit the bed, out immediately.
Yeah. Well, basically, you know, she was Chris Brown's stalker, super fan, call herself Miss CB, whatever, on Instagram, and that's literally all she talks about online. You could tell she's unwell. It's low key kind of scary. It's very scary. But yeah, I don't know. I just feel like I always joke about being delusional. Like I like a low level of Delulu.
Yes, Delulu is fun. Crazy? That's not fun. There's levels to the madness. Delusion is at like the bottom level.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody is delusional in some way, shape, form, fashion. You live in some area of your life. You're living in delusion.
Yeah.
When you get to like stalker level,
to psychotic,
deranged,
you
are way far gone. You're at the finish line, babe.
Okay. But I also think that, like, I feel like women, of course, you know, when someone shows you who they are, believe them. But at the same time, as a man, if you see that this person is crazy like this and you don't want them, why are you entertaining them? Yes, why continue to pick up the phone?
I don't like that. I'm a huge believer. If somebody's bothering you, I'm a big person on access. People only do what you allow them to.
Right.
If I cut that shit, nip it in at the bud, once she started showing that she was unwell, or just like the Facebook post, baby, you are blocked everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
You don't call me. I will go get a new fucking phone number. Don't call me. Don't text me. Don't Facebook. You are blocked on every social media. I will make social media and block you on there because I do not want to be bothered with you. Mm-hmm. I feel like people have a hard time in doing that. And sometimes I feel like it's because people like the attention. Yes. People love the chase. Mm-hmm. Whether you don't want this person, but you like the fact that somebody other than somebody else, even if you are in a relationship, that somebody that's not your person wants you. Mm-hmm. And you be feeding into it, and then you have a fucking voodoo hex put on you. You gotta stop playing games with people.
Yep.
Do not play reindeer games. Play stupid games. Win stupid prizes.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that was pretty much the gist of that. I just and I thought about myself, like in my dating past. I'm like, yo,
are you a stalker?
Oh yeah, I'm a stalker. Like I stalk everybody. I don't even literally, if I meet somebody one time, just know I'm looking you up. I'm going to stalk and look you up. I'm not going to talk to you, but I'm going to check up on you. I want to see what you're doing. I want to see who you are. I want to see if you got anything on Maryland Judiciary. Like, I'm looking you up.
Listen, I only stalk if someone asks me to. Now, I'm not going looking for any information.
Oh, I'm looking.
But if you ask me, or like, oh, I'm dating this guy, blah blah blah. Okay, baby, we could get on an investigation and we could find out what we need to know. Mm-hmm. I can do. I just don't. Babe, sometimes I barely remember your name to even look you up.
It's always the last name that I forget.
You know how I am with names. Like, I remember people by certain qualities about them. So whatever the first thing I notice about you, mm-hmm. that's your name. Mm-hmm. That's what I know you as. I'm like, oh, brown pants. Mm-hmm. I know exactly who that is.
No, girl.
And it doesn't have to be a bad thing. Like, it could be like somebody is like really pretty. I'm like, oh my God, I love her eyelashes. Girl, you're going to be lashes. Because That's the first thing that I remember, and that's how I remember you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, people that I don't commit like a thing or an action with them,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know your name. I
Yeah,
won't know you.
like only somebody who's like memorable.
Yeah, like I only things that are memorable, or if I'm like actively paying attention, because you know how you go in like settings, especially like if you're out with your husband, it's like, oh, this is such and such. It's like, oh, hey, how you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Baby, I wasn't really listening. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't hear your name. I don't know you unless you're like, hey, this is such and such. This is, then it's like, okay, we are actually having like a conversation. It's not like a passing by.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember you. Like, I don't know how you go to all of these events with Matt. I know you don't know them people name. I know you don't.
Okay, so
Some of them, unless you talk to them.
yeah, if I have, like I said, if I just meet you in passing and it's like, oh yeah, it's such and such, like whatever, then no, I'm not gonna remember your name. But if I have like a conversation and we connect about something, then I'll remember your name, or I'll remember like, okay, that's such and such's husband or such and such's wife, but I'm not gonna remember both of y'all.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Listen, Colin know a lot of people.
Yeah. So I
He'd be like,
remember,
oh, you know such a nigga. No, I don't.
I remember the people I need to remember. Okay. Like,
I really try. I really try.
but I think also it's kind of one of those things, like a lot of the different events and stuff we go to, you're going to see these people multiple times. So by like the second time,
Yeah.
you'll probably be like, okay, yeah, I remember you from such and such event. You know what I mean? So then, you know, and sometimes we be having to wear name tags anyway. So it'd be like, oh, yeah.
That's what I need me.
Yeah.
At every party, I need people to have a pack of names. I need to remember your name. I need to read it on your shirt. I need to see this multiple times so I can commit it to memory. Because if I don't, you're going to be brown pants or lashes. And that's all I got.
Which it's not a problem. But what were we saying? Okay, so I think that, like, how do I put it? I think it's okay to stalk people a little bit within reason. Because I call it getting intel, you know? Because people lie all the time.
Yes.
So I like to look people up to see, like, okay, do the things that you verbalize to me align? Or let's say I'm going to meet somebody for the first time. I'm gonna look them up to see, like, okay, what can I expect? That way, when I show up, you can either be what I expected or you could not. But I don't go and like message them and do this and do that. It's kind of like you won't even know that I'm stalking you, unless it's LinkedIn, because then they tell you who looks at your profile.
Oh, I hate that. They're like, such and such viewed your profile.
Yeah,
bitch, I didn't ask you to say that. And stop trying to get me to subscribe to premium so I can see who looked at me. I don't care.
I don't care. But yeah, I don't know. I think overall it's something interesting about like the chase, especially when it comes to dating. Because think about your younger years, like the boys that were like wanting you, you didn't really want like that. Like, but I guess it's different as women because
or 75% more.
Like the nice guy who just was like pursuing you was kind of like, ah, you don't got no edge to you. I didn't really want you like that. You know, it was cool, whatever. But the guy that's like pursuing you, but he's like playing hard to get at the same time, that's like mysterious, was like,
I'm mysterious.
I like mystery.
You would.
I like a little bit of both. Like chase me, but run away a little bit so I could kind of chase you back.
No, child, don't play no fucking reindeer games with me. Because
only if I like you.
You know how I am. I'd be like, okay, done. Next. Moving on.
Yeah, I mean, don't take it too far. Like, you know, like let me think, but not wander. There's a difference.
Yeah, that like minimal game.
Mm-hmm.
Minimal.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm gonna be out of here in 2.5 seconds.
But the worst is like when someone's like chasing you and pursuing you and you literally don't share any interest in them at all. Like I'm not even dropping any eggs. I'm not doing anything. Those people I'm running far away from.
Oh my God. You know what I realized? I was a ghoster.
Me too.
Like
now you see me, now you don't.
That was Casper.
No, I was so bad though. Like I'm the type of person that like especially like I didn't really used to give out my phone number that much, but like people like you know how boys used to message you on Facebook. It's like yeah,
Yes.
I'll talk to you on like Facebook Messenger or AIM or like whatever
Or Twitter.
Twitter DM, but like never actually give you my phone number. And then when
Yeah.
you see them in person, I will literally act like nothing. I'll speak to you and everything. And if they're like, oh yeah, I hit you up, I'm like, oh you did?
Mm. Yeah. I realized that I was a serial ghoster.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was a matter of like I just wasn't comfortable speaking up, being like, look, I'm not feeling it. But also I don't feel like that's the case because there have been situations I'm just like, no, goodbye.
No, I just think that when you're younger
I
and
just
when you're bored, it's like, okay, I'll have a conversation with you, but don't ask me to hang out.
no, I'm talking about people I actually went on dates with. Just like out of here.
Oh no, then no. I'm not a ghoster.
I'm a
I gotta
ghost.
let you know I don't like you.
I was ghosted. I
Not
was
not
a
you as the
ghost.
ghostbuster. I thought we're talking like somebody that you met that's like talking to you
No,
but you actually hung out with. Like I've
no.
never ghosted someone I like hung out with.
Ghosted a couple of people.
That is insane.
I have ghosted a couple of people and like we followed each other on social media. So I could see them like subtweeting me.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yeah, you talk about me. Oh well.
Know what they used to say?
Oh my God. Like I remember this one guy. And it was like one of those things like when you used to meet people on social media,
Yes.
like, and it was just like regular. Like we grew up with AIM.
Yes.
You did not know none of those people.
Half of my friends I did not know. Did not know you
We
at
didn't know
all.
any of those people. But over time, it'd be like, oh, I know this
Mm-hmm.
person.
Mm-hmm.
I've been talking to them on the internet for 2 fucking years. Just
Like,
like, what is wrong with us? But yeah, so I'll never forget. Like, I don't know if I was just like bored or whatever. I was just over the
probably.
situation. Like, I didn't really like him. Like he was a cool person,
Mm-hmm.
but he wanted way more than I was willing to give, or that I wanted. Like, I don't want you like that. Chill. And I feel like he was like obsessive.
Oh, that's scary.
Like obsessive. Like if I didn't answer the phone, it was just like very weird. So I was just like, okay, whatever. And I think I may have started like college at this time.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're not in like a lake anymore. We in a motherfucking ocean. There's niggas
Mm-hmm.
everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Like, where do I be? Where do I look? Left, right, up, down? I don't know. And I just like, so I wouldn't like respond as quickly or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. And I was just like, okay, whatever, done. Moving on. Don't have time for this situation. I never said nothing. I just stopped responding completely. And then I
Mm-hmm.
never forget, he was on Twitter and he was like, oh, it's crazy. The people that you're there for will be just like basically egg you immediately to get attention from other people. And I'm like, well,
Well,
what do you want me to say? You want me to respond? I'm not fucking responding. But
no,
it just
I have
like,
had people so tweet me like, but like I said, I would have conversation with you. Like we could be on Uvu, I'll message you on Messenger, all the things. But the minute you be like, oh yeah, let's link, no,
nope,
no, we're
dub,
not linking. Like that was definitely me. Like as soon as you say let's link, ghost, ghost.
ghost
So
out of here.
I
Like,
never forget this. This one boy, he would always go on Twitter and be like, "Oh, such and such." Well, like he wouldn't at me, but he would say something, so it's like obvious that you're talking about me. It's like, yeah, like oh, she'll answer my Uvu calls, but won't pull up. What she's scared of? And I remember
dying.
one time I subtweeted back. I was like, I ain't scared of shit, but that breath. Mind you, I never hung out with this nigga before. I don't know if
Yeah.
his breath smell bad or not. But my thing is, why are you trying to bully me into hanging out with you? I don't know. Something about your energy gave like I'm scared. I don't want to be with you alone.
Yeah.
So no. Like we can talk online. That's it.
Yeah.
And especially it's worse when they're local and it's like they see you hang out with like another guy and are
Yes.
like hang out with another guy or people in general. Like I'll never get one time I was at the movies with my friend. Back we don't go to the movies. We go to the movies, but not to the movies.
To see nothing.
we went to Chipotle, hanging out, you know, whatever. So I'm there with my friends, whatever. This nigga straight pull up like, oh yeah, I saw you had said you was going out such and such with your friends. What happened to the link? I was like,
911 immediately.
I was like, huh?
Get this man out of here.
Me no speak English.
No, like that used to be the worst. Or on campus. Ooh.
On campus is worse, especially the niggas you see and they be like, where my hug? And they be like, oh yeah, so I hit you, I messaged you on Twitter, when we gonna link?
Never.
Link?
Never.
Mm-mm.
Never.
Mm-mm.
Never.
Sorry.
Never. It just never. But this sounds like perfectly into the conversation that I wanted to have today. So you sent me a video on TikTok. Well, I saw the original video that the girl stitched. Now, I don't know if that guy ever like took it down. So we might not be able to find the original video, but basically there was a guy, black guy, and he was basically saying how basically why athletes typically who are black date white women. So he went on this whole like rant. The TikTok original one was like 3.5 minutes long. Like he went on. And then this girl, the video that you sent me, she is mixed. So she has a white dad, and she grew up pretty much in a predominantly white environment. And she was saying basically all the things that her dad taught her about dating. And it kind of begs the conversation of just like, what do black people versus white people teach their kids about dating, and why is it so different? Because from the white people that I do know, like coworkers and things like that, their like dating experience, their dating standards, everything is like, I feel like it's like night and day. It's completely different.
Yeah.
And even in the video, she was just like, you know, things that her dad told her was just like, okay, even when you're in college, she was just like, oh, if you're pretty, you go after these kind of guys. If you actually have brains, you need to go with the people that are in business or in finance. And he was just saying, you know, how men want to like talk to you about sports, but they want to teach you about politics. And if you know the difference, you know the difference. And I was just like, oh, wow. And she had a laundry list of things.
Yeah, it was actually very insightful.
Yes.
And a little bit agreed with.
Yes, like as she was going on down the list, I was like, okay. And as like being an adult, you understand because it's not just about like, I feel like from what she was saying, it was just like white people don't set their kids up to just like, oh, we're just having fun. It's fun and games, blah, blah, blah. No, we're setting you up for a life, you know? So it's just like what you instill in your kids and you teach them about dating. I just don't know if it's like why it's so different.
Well, I also feel like white people, they do set their, like, from my experience, like the white girls I grew up with, when it was like high school and like literally when it was high school and like the first year of college, you were able to date, explore, have fun. But as soon as you hit 21, you best be finding you a husband. Like white people, like you gonna find your husband in college. If you didn't find him in high school, you better find him in college. And I feel like the biggest difference with that is like black people, I was never taught how to date. I was just taught, don't bring no baby up in this damn house and don't be opening your legs. Now, did I listen? That's up for debate. But
well, you had a baby at marriage.
I'm talking about the open up the legs
part.
Yes. But we were never taught like what to look for in a man. I feel like a lot of black families, they just think that like, oh, if your father is around, then automatically you should see an example of a man and that's the type of man you should go for. And I don't think that that's right. I think, yes, lead by example, but also teach your daughters and your sons how to date. I already said I am an encourager of but I'm an encourager of teenagers dating appropriately. I don't think there's anything wrong with them dating and having their little friends. You know what I mean? With as long as it's appropriate and, you know, within their age group. You're not about to be 14 and 15 and having a boy in your room. No, but he can come to the house and y'all could chill in the basement, watch movies. That's cool. I'll make you some snacks.
No,
That's
y'all
cool.
can sit on the couch where I can see
Y'all
you.
could, yeah, y'all could go to the skating rink. Y'all could go to the movies. Y'all could go to the mall. You got a curfew. You could do that. You know, age appropriate. But I do think it's important to let your kids date and like learn themselves, because all the girls that I know that wasn't dating and getting no play in high school, when they got to college, baby, whew,
Child, that welcome
fresh meat
that
for
welcoming
real,
committee welcomed them.
with open arms,
Hello.
babes. Okay, so I think that like, and granted, everyone can have their little whole phase, and what a whole phase is up to your own interpretation. Okay, but I do think that like a lot of people, not to be judgmental, but a lot of the girls that I know that have issues dating, um, and by dating meaning don't know how to talk to men, don't know how to date, it's because they did not start dating until they were grown.
Yeah. I think it's like you said, everything should be like age appropriate, but it has to be more than don't get pregnant
Exactly.
or don't fuck everybody. It's like cool.
Exactly.
I think at this point in time, we got the message.
Yeah.
We got that. Now we got to move on to other things. I think that it's helpful, like you said, to date younger just to get used to like being in the opposite sexes or, you know, whatever you into.
Learn how to carry yourself around a boy.
Yeah, like with that. And then you kind of like, I wouldn't be a proponent of anybody in their teenagers, even like, let's say 16, even like 16 and 19. I wouldn't be a proponent of them dating multiple people. And here's why.
Mhm.
I think because you have to kind of, you can't learn how to juggle if you can't catch.
Exactly.
So, oh, that was great.
You ate that one right on up.
I ate that. Oh my God. That was just off the dome. Um, But yeah, you can't do multiple things if you cannot do one thing
Mm-hmm.
even decently.
But
So it's
even
like
to,
just get used to that.
but
Get used
circling
to
back, people don't even understand how to date. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
there's a difference. Like when people say, "Yeah, I'm dating somebody and being in a relationship with somebody
it's
are
different.
two different things, and people do not understand that.
Yes. I think people don't understand it. And I think also kind of like when it comes to dating, like people just be like, oh, somebody invited me out, so I went to dinner. Okay, what's the purpose of all of this?
Right.
Do you just want a friend? If it's just companionship,
Mm-hmm.
then that's not necessarily dating. You're
Right.
dating to do what?
Mm-hmm.
And that be the question. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
and like where's the rest? And I think that comes from a lack of like knowing what to do, or people not really having a plan of what they want for their life. So it's just like, okay, if you don't know what you're looking for, what your standards are, you have no standards,
Mm-hmm.
how are you going to like, how do you date? How do
Right.
you fish out or weed out people? It's like, oh no, baby, you have to get the fuck away from me. You're not for me. You are for
Mm-hmm.
me. You don't know that if you never put yourself in that situation and really sat down and asked yourself, okay, what is it that I want? What is it that
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking for? What should I be looking for? And I feel like those are the things that as parents or whatever that you're supposed to teach your kids. Of course,
Mm-hmm.
nobody wants their kid to be like, if you grow up with a certain kind of lifestyle, nobody wants their kid to do anything less than, because it's just like, well, what the
Right.
fuck am I breaking my back for if like, baby, we can't be eating roof Chris and you run around at McDonald's.
Mm-hmm.
Why are we doing that?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
But I do think that like that even goes with like an expectation. So you know how like the conversation of the girls who have a bald head dad that they high maintenance. It's like, okay, if you're used to your parents treating you a certain way or your father treating your mother a certain way, yes, you should expect the same thing from a man. But if you're 21, you shouldn't be expecting your 21, 22-year-old boyfriend to be paying your bills and taking care of you.
Yes, I think that's a totally like different thing, and I think that really be fucking the game up
Yeah.
because like, girl, get it together. We haven't even crossed that threshold.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't gotten there yet. Like you putting the horse before the cart or whatever the saying is.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
And
you
that's
moving
why
too fast.
I think depending on your age, I think it's appropriate to date someone based on their potential. Because I can be honest, like when I met Matt, like obviously he was a great guy. I thought he was all cute and stuff. He was nice and all this stuff, but I saw that he had potential.
Yeah.
Which is what made me take him seriously. I said, you know what? I'm going places in my life. I have big plans and dreams. I think our goals and morals are compatible, and I can see that he's doing something with his life. He has potential. I'll take the potential.
Yeah,
You know?
at certain ages, like if you're in college, like we both met our husbands in college.
Yeah.
So you don't have nothing but potential. Shit, all we had was potential.
And maybe a credit card.
Baby, run it up. But it's like, at a certain point in the game, you can't be like, oh, I want a house. I want this. I want, like, I don't want to work. All that both of y'all have is nothing but potential. How does that person, in those instances, like, okay, well, how does that person treat you? How do you feel when you're around that person? How does this person act
How
when
do they
they're
show
around
up for
you? Yeah, like all of those things are the things that matter, especially if you're dating extremely young.
Yeah.
You can't be like, oh, you got to make 6 figures. That's not realistic when y'all are in college.
Shit,
Y'all
it's
are
not
in
even
fucking dorms. Like,
it's
and
not
sometimes
even
even post college is not as realistic because the pop amount of people who actually make 6 figures is very, very, very small in comparison to people who don't. And there's nothing wrong with that.
But I think that and I hate to have the dating conversation because we're not actively dating, but at the same time, we see it all day long. That's literally all anybody talks about.
We see it, we hear it.
Yeah. So I think that, like, especially within our age group, like the late 20s, early 30s, a lot of people want people to come to them already
built.
And I think that is a dangerous thing because as a spouse or a partner, you should be able to add and, do different things to uplift your partner. Like, of course, you shouldn't be building a man, but you shouldn't expect someone to come to you 100% whole. Maybe like emotionally and mentally whole, yes. But I do think that, like, if there's nothing that you can offer to elevate someone's life, why should they want you? And that's for men and women.
Yeah, like everything is vice versa. What I always believe, like whatever you expect of someone else, you have to be willing and able to give that of yourself.
Right.
And if you can't, then why do you think it's appropriate to ask somebody else for that? Like it just that logic just doesn't make any sense. It's just like, and I think people have this like fucked up mindset, like, okay, you don't have to bring nothing to the table. Everybody got to bring something.
Literally nothing in life is free. Sorry.
Like nothing whatsoever. Everybody has to bring something to help both people out. I just don't understand it. And maybe it's because like I said, like we found our husbands in college.
Yeah.
That the experience of life right now is like, it's different. Like, I don't know what it would be like to be an adult dating right now. Like if I don't even know where my life would be right now because like it would be easy to say like, oh, I would still have everything that I have if I didn't have my husband. But in reality, I look at it like, okay, I hustle a little harder because I have a family. So it's like, would I really have this much drive? I mean, I've always had like drive, but would it be the way it is right now? So I can't even say that, okay, remove him from the situation and everything stays exactly the same. How could I date right now? Because I think it would be completely different because the things that I learned from 21, 22 to 31 is I've learned a whole lot. And a lot of those things that I learned them with him. I learned them from him.
Yeah.
So I think that sometimes like the conversation around dating, one, you have to teach people how to do it correctly. And then you got to strip away all the bullshit and like what you see on TV, what you see on social media. Like, let's reel it in. Let's take that shit away and let's focus on real life.
Mm-hmm.
Let's focus on real life and then make decisions, from
Yeah.
there. And
I think that, like, okay, so I watch the Pop the Balloon thing on YouTube all the time. Like, Matt and I watch it together.
Mhm.
And I think a lot of times people just want, like, you just want a partner or a person, but you don't really know what you want in a person. And that's why I think it's important to date younger, because you can learn and see, like, okay, this is what I like, this is what I don't like. Like, if someone sat me down at 19 and said, what would you look for in a husband? I would know what to say, because at that point I wasn't dating to get married, but I've dated enough. I've conversed with enough men. I've gone on enough dates. Like, at 19, it's like, okay, yeah, I was in this relationship, that didn't work. I was in this relationship, that didn't work. Went on a date with this guy, ghosted him. Like, all these different things. So by time I even met Matt, I saw, like, okay, this is what I liked in this one guy that I dated, but that didn't work out. This is what I didn't like in that one guy, didn't work out. What does he have that I liked about previous people that I've dated, and
Yeah.
what is he bringing new to the table that I like? You get what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that comparison is not a bad thing.
Yeah, it's not bad to compare.
You kind of have to. It's like we literally talked about it buying produce.
Mm-hmm.
I will pick up 55 packages of strawberries to find the right one. I
Mm-hmm.
don't care. I'm gonna pick them up, look at them, turn them over. Like, I might open the top, like, oh no, that one in there got a little mold. Next, moving
Mm-hmm.
on. Like, you have to. If you don't have anything to compare it to, how are you going to figure out what you like or
Yeah.
don't?
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand that, but I think that that's one of the things that maybe should be a lesson for dating. I'm telling you, we got to write a book, a short novel, like a little thin one. Like, here's the rules. These are the things that you should do. It's not bad
Yeah.
to compare.
Mm-hmm.
You should compare. You also should have options.
Yeah, I mean, we all have options. I think you should be honest about
You
your
should have
options.
options. You should explore your options because, yeah, multiple people may like you, but do you entertaining those people
Mm-hmm.
for, like, okay, if you're in a space, I think of it right now. I know a lot of people who say that they want to have long-term relationships. Like, that's what they're looking for right now. Late 20s, early mid 30s. That's what they're looking for. And it's
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, well, one, what do you want? Write it down. Figure it
Right.
out. Write it down. Have a list, not a laundry list of like nitpicky things. Like,
Unrealistic
have your
things.
list of non-negotiables. Like, these are
Mm-hmm.
the things I can't waver on, these things at all. And then separate the things. It's just like, okay, if all of these non-negotiables are checked, I could let some of these go, because it's just like, is it really going to ruin your life if you don't have
Mm-hmm.
it?
Exactly. And I
It's fine.
think,
If you get that in the future,
mm-hmm,
cool.
because people always grow and evolve. And that's why I feel
Yeah.
like, going back to saying you shouldn't want someone coming to you 100% ready. It's like,
People are
people,
never 100%.
exactly, they're never 100%, because we're always changing, growing, and evolving. And I think that, like, you have to give the person you love, or even your spouse, like, we're married, but I know that in 10 years, my husband's probably not going to be the same person he is now. You have to give that person room to grow. Like, even going back to when we first started dating, I was not a strict girlfriend. Okay, you want to go to a party? Go do your thing. I'm going to go to another party with my homegirls. Like, go live your life. Give people the room to breathe and live their lives. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like pigeonholing people and trying to own them instead of experiencing them. Word to Lauren London. It's just not a healthy way of living. You're only hurting yourself trying to.
Baby, the day
What?
that light came on, I was like, oh my God,
Yeah.
so much
I mean,
happier.
within reason. You ain't about to.
No,
Not too much, babes.
not ever. Like, don't fuck around.
Right.
You know how
And find
I
out.
am. I believe in being a healed person, but keep a little bit of crazy in your back pocket just so a motherfucker know. Don't play with me.
Here it is.
Just
You act,
I
I
don't need
will
a whole
deliver.
bunch, but the little bit I still got,
Mm-hmm.
you don't want none of this. So act accordingly.
Yeah.
And that's it. But like you say, like, you kind of gotta y'all gotta live separate lives. Like, I just don't understand those people that are like,
Your whole
I'm
identity
like,
can't be
separate,
your
back up.
significant other.
Yeah, because then when you don't have that person, you don't know how to operate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, and I anytime I see like relationships like that, I be like, oh, that's not a strong relationship.
The foundation is cracked up, babe.
Because you holding on so tight for what? They're gonna come back if that's where they really want to be. So let a motherfucker go and breathe and have separate lives. Add that as another dating rule. Have separate lives.
Yes.
You don't have to go every single place that your spouse goes. Yes, it's good to be able to intermix in each other's circles, but understand that y'all have to live separate lives. Your husband or your boyfriend, whatever, can go out by himself. You don't have to be there. If you feel the need that you got to police somebody, that's an indication that something's not right. And you either need to figure out what that is within yourself of why you're not trusting, or it's time to dip.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't want to be policed, so please don't police
and don't
me.
police me.
Like, I don't even really like being questioned that much.
Nah,
what are you, the
I hate it.
feds? Like,
hate it. Because what's with the third fucking degree?
right? Like,
why are you questioning me? I don't like. But to be fair, I don't like that shit in any aspect of my life.
Yeah, yeah. It could be the most simplest thing. It's just like,
I'm annoyed because what? Why are you asking me these questions?
Why? No, like literally, Matt will ask me something, and it's like I'll answer it, and he was like, "I'm just asking." I'm like, "Okay, but why?"
Yeah, because what? Like, and why are you asking it right now? Like, now I need to know. Like, what's with questions?
What's going on in that head of yours, huh? Like,
but I just think, like, I think that video was eye-opening. I mean, I'm not dating, but I think it was eye-opening, and it's just like, okay, I could how other people do it sometimes. And I literally was just having this conversation, I feel like, with Colin about it and how like different cultures teach their children to date, or different cultures is, you know how different cultures is like, okay, if you're not a doctor, a lawyer, what are you doing? That for certain cultures it's just like, no, this is what we do. But sometimes like it's setting a standard, and what your children do reflects on your family.
Yeah.
So it's like you're pushing your child to be great. You're the person that you want your child to be, whether it's an arranged marriage or however. There's a certain standard that you must come with, that your family must come with, in order for this to work. And, you know, a lot of times, like, there's a show on Netflix. She's an Indian matchmaker. And when she's like telling like all the couples like she's put together, whether, you know, arranged marriages or through like her dating services, them people be together for a long ass time.
Oh.
And I think it's something that is being done correctly. Because there's more than just, I like you.
Yeah.
It's more to it than just that. And when the time comes for that, I'm gonna have to give my kids some of that. Like, look, certain things we gotta have non-negotiables. You have to be able to develop those on your own. Some shit as a parent, I'm just not gonna accept no bullshit. Because my parents were the same way. Certain things, mom would be like, hell no. Don't bring that nigga over here. And my parents were straight like that. Do not bring that nigga over here. And it was like, okay. And it's like, I didn't understand it then, but I understand that shit now. And I'm like, okay, y'all ate it with that. But y'all did y'all went on that. Okay, I got it.
I feel like I knew, like,
you always know.
But it's like, I've always been selective. Like, honestly, I've never introduced my parents to guys that I was dating, talking to, all the things. Like, literally, including Matt.
I never wanted to, because I knew that it was some bullshit. I knew. So I already knew what I was going to get. Like, so it wasn't like, oh, by choice, like, hey, come over. It was just kind of like, oh, are we going to meet this guy?
I was straight up saying no. Like, even with Matt, like,
I'm not telling them people,
I had to vet you out first. My family is crazy enough. You think that I'm about to just let you introduce me, and I'll never get our first like official date. He comes to the house, picks me up, gets out the car, all the chivalrous things, right? And I was so mad because I told him, like, I told you to call me when you got outside. Like, why are you walking up to the door? He's like, oh, yeah, well, your dad and your brother were outside. Exactly. What are you doing? What is
Yeah.
going on?
But it's like now as an adult, like having a kid, I would want you to do that.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I'm looking at you shifty if you don't.
But that's how you could tell, like, the guys that are like serious and that were raised well, because
Yes.
there are plenty of guys that I've told, like, yeah, you're not picking me up from my
Pick me up
house.
down the block, boo.
And they never questioned it. They never questioned it. They never cared. But Matt was always like, I'm
No.
not picking you up down the street.
Yes. Like anytime that Matt has picked me up, Matt is at the front door.
Literally. Literally.
Like, so it's just like it's like the way that Matt always treated you was an extension of how he treated everybody else.
Yeah.
It was just
yeah.
like, nope. And that's so funny. I saw a little blue Nissan the other day and I'm like, Matt used to be running us around.
And that blue Nissan, boy. Mm.
Oh, good fucking time.
That is so funny.
That shit was hilarious.
But yeah, it's crazy. We have daughters. We're gonna have to you know, and it's gonna have to obviously be us. Like, their fathers, they're already on bullshit. They really are not even trying to even think or hear about their child dating.
No.
But it's like, y'all gonna have to get with the program, because you want your child to bring home, you know, the mature, nice version of you, not you when you were 16. So please help us out.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Don't want no parts of that. But I feel like we're gonna get it right. We got years to try to figure that out.
Oh yeah.
And there's gonna be some rules around this bitch.
Oh yeah. It's not gonna be too strict, but you're gonna have some rules.
Yeah.
And I might chip your ass. Just saying.
Hello. But yeah. I need a drink when we get to that stage in life.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not ready, but I'm gonna get ready. Kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a good one.
I know. So good.
28. Almost at 30.
We gotta do something big for 30.
I don't know what yet, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah, because then we'll be at 50.
That part.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was another one. And we see y'all in the next one with more of our chaotic shit.
Yeah. It was all over the place, but it all flowed together, honestly.
When is it not?
Yeah.
When is it not?
It always comes together.
Well, yep.
Anyway, well, bye.
Bye.